I think the whole Spider-Man universe without Spider-Man in it is not really working out for Sony's favor. I do see a lot of people liking Venom 1 and 2, and Morbius was just seen as a fucking joke, but I don't get the appeal of any of these. Even something like Venom, I thought it was enjoyable, but it was still not good. Both Venom 1 and 2 don't really have anything much to say besides, hey, we can make a Venom movie without Spider-Man, which it's true. Doesn't mean that it's good, but it's true. And I know Venom hasn't been Spider-Man's villain in a fat minute in the comics, but I don't get the appeal of them trying to be like, oh yeah, he's eventually gonna fight Tom Holland. For the context of the movies, there's like no correlation on why he should even fight Peter Parker. Like, why is this late 30s man gonna fight a teenager? Morbius was just such a fucking bad movie. I don't think anyone needs to explain it, but it was just a disaster from the start. And the fact that it got memed so hard that Sony basically fucked themselves over twice should have showed where this universe was heading. And now we got Madam Web, which is the recent movie out of this Spider-Man universe without Spider-Man in it. And it's one of the most pathetic excuses of a product I've ever seen, but because of that I find it more hilarious than any of these three films beforehand. I think it was obvious that the movie was going to be bad from the trailers itself. The trailers itself made it look like a, I hate to use this word, cringe, and try to appeal a group of people that I don't even think exist anymore. That fucking music was terrible, the editing was just all over the fucking place, and you know, it was a bad time when you had to go to the movie theaters and watch the trailer for that 4 times. It's a true story, by the way. Start with the obvious with the whole movie. It's horribly edited and shot. This movie felt like it was being held by someone who had a stroke and is using his one good hand to record it, so it would just be constantly shaking. Also, randomly, it would just cut to another scene without having no explanation on why it's cutting there. And also, it has that stupid fucking thing I hate with movies where they grab a camera and they aim it at someone, but then they digitally zoom it in the editing process. So it has that annoying TikTok zoom. It feels like this. It feels like it's shaking a lot, and then randomly it would just digitally zoom in the editing process. Why the fuck do you do that? Also, the main character's power, Madam Web's power, is seeing the future, and the way it's presented looks fucking ridiculous. I feel like this movie needs a seizure warning because, my god, whenever it flashes from her future to the past, it just does that white flash. It's just white flash, camera shake, white flash, camera shake, zoom in, white flash. It is constant throughout the whole movie. Also, I have to bring this up because this is one of the most embarrassing audio editing in a movie I've seen. When they try to mix in a soundtrack with the score with the movie, they don't know what to do, so sometimes it's just 50-50 of a, oh, here's Toxic by Britney Spears with this score right here. And it just doesn't sound well blend together. And also, speaking of audio editing, I hope you love ADR, because the main bad guy has horrible ADR. If you don't know what ADR is, it's basically automatic dialogue replacement. You have the scene right there, but let's say you want to change the audio of the person talking, or if you can't hear them properly, so they later grab the same actor, put him in a recording studio to record their lines, and then edit it into the movie. It is not good in this movie. The villain is 90% ADR, and it is so distracting because it is so noticeable. Half the time he sounds like a fucking anime dub. Half the time it doesn't even sound like he's being authentic. Like, he's flipping around, swinging, climbing walls, and he doesn't even sound like he's out of breath or anything, or like he's in the environment. Also, it's bad when you notice it when he's talking. The ADR is mixed in with the mouth, and it's not even mixed in well, so you can tell when it's edited. Sometimes the mouth is saying something and the audio is delayed. They try to hide it sometimes with like his mouth being in the shadows and you can't see what his mouth is saying, but it just sounds terrible because it doesn't even mix in with the environment around it. To be fair, it's not one bad performance amongst the other performances. All the other performances were also bad. The acting was so monotone and bad from actors who clearly know what they're doing, but they're not given any direction whatsoever. And even if they were, the writing wasn't even gonna help their cases. Dakota Johnson herself just felt like she was bored most of the time, like she did not want to be there. And I don't know much of Dakota Johnson's work besides 50 Shades of Grey, because I could not tell if she's a great talented actress or she's just like this all the time. She comes across like she's tired and did not want to do this movie, even with the interviews where she's being truthfully honest about how terrible this movie is. Apparently apparently there was rewrites of the movie when Dakota Johnson joined. Apparently the original pitch was Madam Web and the 3 Spider Women saving Mayday Parker from the villain. Why did Dakota Johnson joining change any of that? And it's not even Dakota Johnson's fault. Every actor or actress in this movie felt like they were just shooting their scene on the first day of set. It's like they didn't know anyone. They didn't know what they were doing. They were just told, be here, be square. That's it. Every scene feels like that. It feels like a first take of the first day of shooting. And then that's it. The writing is trying to convince you that these 3 later have connection. They have chemistry after surviving this adventure together. When in reality, from the ending, they feel like they have the same relation within themselves from the beginning. Like they still don't know who they are, what the hell they're doing, and if they're not even like friends. It feels like once after they're done with this, they're like, oh, okay, see ya, and then they never speak to each other ever again. That's how it feels. They also try to convince that they're having a emotional background because, oh, my dad's not here, my mom died, my mom's in a psych ward. But even then, it's so poorly done and it doesn't even feel like authentic. It feels like an SNL skit, and it feels like the most forceful in, oh, we have tragic backstories, that's why we're friends. The 3 Spider Women are supposed to be playing teenagers. They do not look like teenagers whatsoever. Like, I know Sydney Sweeney because of reasons, don't judge. Putting her in a nerdy dress with a terrible wig and a skirt is not making her look like a teenager. It still looks like a mid-20s woman. No matter how many times you lie and say, oh, you have to protect these 3 teenagers. Also, the side characters are just references to Spider-Man media, but they don't want to say it's fully Spider-Man media. Ben Parker is just a character that exists. He's just a side character just for people to be like, it's Ben Parker. You could have named him anyone else and it would have made no difference whatsoever. They just want to connect it to Spider-Man for no fucking reason. Also, let's go back to the villain. He's bad. He has the most generic plan. He's like, oh, I have a vision of these 3 girls killing me. I must kill them before they kill me. In which it could be easily explained to them and be like, hey, I have a vision of you guys killing me. Here's $1 billion. Don't kill me whatsoever. Also, I have to say this. What the fuck is this costume? Why is it so bad? Nothing about it looks interesting whatsoever. It just looks like a parody that the boys would do of Spider-Man. Another stupid thing is the writing. It's known information now, but the movie was written by the 2 people who wrote Morbius. So you know the movie was going to be good from the start. But the instant you heard he was in the Amazon with my mom when she was researching spiders right before she died, it should have been an instant classic that this was going to be a terrible movie. By the way, that line that was in the trailer that was being memed to death, that's not even in the movie. And the problem I have with it is the line is so stupid, but compared to the rest of the writing in this movie, it actually would have been the best line to come out of it. It wouldn't even look that weird compared to everything else. It would just look like a normal line. Also, the 3 teenagers are written to be some of the stupidest people in the world. They make decisions that even a child could look into and be like, I shouldn't do that. The 3 girls are supposed to be hiding in the woods for a bit so they don't get spotted by the fucking villain. But they're like, fuck it, let's go to a diner instead. It's already bad enough that they go to a diner. Like, yeah, go ahead, go eat food, but then go back into hiding. But then out of nowhere, they're like, oh, we see this group of teenage boys here. Why don't we just start dancing on top of a table for them? Don't get me wrong, I was excited to see Sydney Sweeney on there with a skirt and everything. But it was just idiotic for them to even consider that. Also, they're considered missing, so people could look for them anywhere. And then guess what? Guess who's coming? The fucking villain who's trying to kill them. And that's not even the worst part, because at that point I'm like, okay, I understand. They're stupid teenagers. They're fucking stupid as hell, and the writing still doesn't make any sense, but I'll excuse it at this one point. But later in the movie, they have the best hiding spot. They're in a safe house. They're fine. They've been there for a week and no one has ever found them. Not even the villain, who has control of every camera in the New York State. One of the side characters is giving birth, and then they were like, oh, we have to go. Why? No other character questions it, like, oh, you should probably stay here, or oh, don't come with us, it's probably gonna be dangerous. There's like no reason why they would leave their safe house to go to the hospital to help people they don't even care about. Hey, we have a disguise, and we also have a safe house, we could stay here. Oh, let's just leave the safe house. Oh, at least we still have our disguises. Oh, by the way, let me just fully expose my face out the window. Even then, the script was going to go by generic beat by beat. If you watch the first 8 minutes of the movie, you're going to know what happens for the rest of it. You can see what line is going to be said next. You're going to see what line is going to be said here. Oh, this person's going to say this, and then this person is going to reply with this. That's how easy the script is. Also, let's talk about the obvious statement in the room. Sony's influence into bringing Spider-Man references just for the sake of having Spider-Man references. And also Sony fucking up the greatest superhero quote of all time. But God forbid they try to change something that's broken that's not broken. fucking... In the movie, quote unquote, they say, when you take on the responsibility, great power will come. What is it with Sony trying to change that for some reason? Also, the constant teasing of Spider-Man with Mary Parker saying, Ben always wanted to be an uncle, it's so fucking funny because it's just so forced out of nowhere. Oh yeah, I remember Ben, he wanted to be an Uncle Ben. He also wanted to be shot. That's also a real line in the movie. Have you ever been shot in Queens? My god. It's so fucking embarrassing. But the embarrassment of them trying is so fucking funny. The fact that this movie got approved to be a product that has to get funded, that had to spend money to get commercials, trailers, and a premiere, and it wasted 2 hours of some poor individuals who chose to watch it, it is fucking hilarious. There are comedies that try their best to even get a single laugh, but this one did it because it is a big corporate pile of crap. Don't get me wrong, it's still boring. There is so much filler in this movie, and I fucking hate using the word filler. There's so much stuff in such a little time that feels like a waste of time. But once you start looking at the dumbest shit that they're trying to force in the lines that are trying to act cool and be memorable, with the score going on being all heroic, it is some of the funniest shit you could ever watch. Even with all that, I don't think it's gonna affect Sony, because at the end of the day, this was not a movie created from a director, a writer, or even the actors. This was just a movie that Sony wanted to be made for themselves so they could have something for the Spider-Man universe. They never cared what the director did, what the writer did. It's just a movie part of their universe. Like, I think it's just a contract they had to make just so they could keep the Spider-Man license. Which, I mean, I don't want Disney to own Spider-Man. Don't get me wrong. That would just be as awful as Sony still owning it. But man, awful shit like this comes up and it is so fucking hilarious. I do think there is some must-watch scenes for how bad it is, because there are points where this movie is more entertaining than like an MCU movie coming out recently. Like, some scenes here are more funny and entertaining than Ant-Man and the Wasp and the Marvels and Flash and Aquaman. But at the same time, they're even as boring as Ant-Man, The Flash, and Aquaman. As an actual film, it is horrible. It is one of the worst of this year. But as a pure corporate shill, it is pure cringe at its finest, and it's beautiful because of it. Madam Web is getting a 1 out of 10. But don't get me wrong, I see it as a positive. This was a fucking disaster of a movie. Moral of the story, if a movie like this could be made, you can do whatever the fuck you want. The working